at the Preakness in Baltimore, Maryland.
A1 Sports is live from the Super Bowl.
Thanks, Dana. We're here with Dave Blaney.
In Las Vegas, Dana Balish, 21 Sports.
Mike Ackelson joins us from Arlington for the final time before today's championship game. And Mike, what do you got for us?
Well, Rob, when you look at it, we're just moments away from kicking off Super Bowl 45. And all around North Texas this week, you could find ex-football players, movie stars, and everybody had their opinion on who might win the big game.
I'm going to give it to Pittsburgh. I think Green Bay has played very, very well, and your hat has got to be off to them. But the experience that I think Pittsburgh has, and I think Pittsburgh is going to put the pressure on Green Bay to run the ball.
I'm going with the Green Bay Packers. You know what? I really like Aaron Rodgers. I like the quarterback that he's become. I like the fact that there's no throw he can't make.
And I think at the end of the day, these Steelers know how to win, and I'd be very surprised if Green Bay is really able to overcome the power and the experience of the Pittsburgh Steelers. So I got the Steelers in this one.
I'm an AFC man by heart, so I got to go with the Steelers, 20-17. They got an awesome defense, man. Those guys are just playing on all cylinders right now.
Thanks, Dana. We're here with Dave Blaney, and it became a very long afternoon. You didn't make it in during your race, but you got the help you needed in race number 2.
Yeah, there was going to be different ways we could make it, depending on what other guys did. And yeah, we just didn't have a good enough race. Our car was quick enough. We just didn't get the right partner early. They kind of went the other way on me, and then the partner I had blew his engine up. So I was kind of stuck and got no restarts really till right there. Well, I got a lap down before I got a restart. So we just didn't get a good break, and then we kind of lost out in our race. And so you got to sit there and wait for something good to happen to you. And a lot of times that doesn't happen, but luckily it did today, so we'll get another shot.
Well, and I guess the biggest thing over the next 3 days, you're going to be lobbying to find some dancing partners, huh?
Well, it'll be better in the race when there's 43 guys out there and there's going to be more options to grab a hold of guys and go, and that'll be better. And, it's just circumstances today. There's certain guys trying to race in on, on speed or position like we were doing, and a lot of the guys that are already in the race maybe don't want to get in the middle of all that. So that's part of it too, and but we knew that going in, and just hopefully we could get it done, and luckily it happened for us.
How big to get in this race?
Well, it's huge. It's it's huge for me, and especially for Tommy Baldwin and all these guys. It'd be devastating for our team to come down here and miss it. They spend a lot of money to come here. This race pays a lot to get in it. So if you miss out on that, it's a big blow.
There you have it, folks. The Buckeye Bullet will be in the Daytona 500 on Sunday. Back to you, Dana.
Kelly Pavlik's journey to get back inside the boxing ring may have felt like he climbed a mountain. A more mature and focused fighter headed to Las Vegas for what he hopes is the first round in becoming a champion again. Dana Balish tells us about a streak he intends to keep alive in the gambling capital.
This is Pavlik's 11th fight in the state of Nevada, winning the previous 10. His last fight here at the MGM was more than 3 years ago when he beat Jermaine Taylor. So I asked him about all his success out west.
I don't know what it is. It might be Vegas. I guess, I can't hit on the slot machines or tables, so the only way to make up for it is in the ring.
Obviously on the undercard of Pacquiao, they put us on a big show. They put us to fight right before Pacquiao, so, it's a big event to be on coming back after 13 months, and pressure's on.
Pavlik's training concentrated more on boxing, and his confident level is sky high.
He's matured very much. People want to go on the Martinez fight. Only the ones close to the camp knew exactly what happened that night, with trying to make weight. That's why I'm so confident.
Probably the most I've ever been in my career, and confident-wise, probably the highest I've been in my career.
Pavlik says training went so well for this fight, he was sorry to see it end. But will it pay off? We'll find out Saturday night. In Las Vegas, Dana Balish, 21 Sports.
Earlier tonight, the only local reporter in Maryland, Dana Balish, caught up with Bruce Zoldan to talk about the race.
It is the eve of the Preakness, and we are joined by Bruce Zoldan, who is a co-owner of Animal Kingdom. And Bruce, just hours away now from the Preakness, are the nerves starting to settle in?
They certainly are. I was here Tuesday night at the draw party. Today at the Alibi Breakfast, where all the owners and trainers get up and talk about their horses. And the truth of the matter is everyone's nervous. There's 14 horses in the race, and 14 owners and 14 trainers are very nervous.
Bruce, the Team Valor decided to keep the horse in its home stable an hour away from here, and you're bringing it in tomorrow morning, early tomorrow morning. Is that a plan, or is that just something that you guys are comfortable with?
Yeah, that's Graham Motion's plan. He has his own style of training, and he feels very comfortable keeping the horse in the barn, which is only an hour and a half away. He wants to keep the horse comfortable, and that's his strategy.
In your opinion, what is the most critical part of the race come tomorrow afternoon?
Well, it's the buildup. Our horse is used to crowds now, winning the Derby, 165,000 people. Here we'll have about 100,000 people. Just preparing the horse. I think the horse is aggressive instinctively. The horse wants to win. It wants to pass every horse in front of it. We trained this week with 9 horses running in front of it. He passed all 9, and that's his style.
Well, best of luck tomorrow afternoon as Animal Kingdom tries to win the second leg of the Triple Crown. Bruce, good luck tomorrow afternoon.
Thank you very much. Thanks for coming.
And we will be hear from Bruce after the race. We'll have that for you tomorrow night at 11 o'clock. That's the story from Baltimore, Maryland. Back to you guys.
21 Sports Director Dana Balish was in Pimlico for the race. He has this exclusive report.
We're joined by Team Valor co-owner Bruce Zulin, and Bruce, Animal Kingdom, a heck of a race.
Yeah, we're certainly proud of Animal Kingdom. He validated his Kentucky Derby win.
Kissed his hand.
Disappointed, obviously, that he couldn't make the history books of the Triple Crown, but as I said, we're proud of Animal Kingdom.
What was the difference, you think, today compared to the Derby?
I think they slowed it down a little bit. The pace slowed down, and he just couldn't catch up with it. But he ran a great race. Had it been a little longer, had it been the Belmont, I think there's no question everybody that watched this race today knew that Animal Kingdom could win in a longer race.
Bruce, what's next for Animal Kingdom?
That's Barry Irwin's and Graham Motion's decision. I don't know. Obviously, he's in the history books of the Kentucky Derby, and who knows? I let the professional people do that.
Bruce, Kentucky Derby finished, a championship there, a second place finish in the Preakness, not too shabby.
No, as I said, I'm proud to be here. I'm honored to be here. I want to thank everybody back in Youngstown, Mahoning Valley, Trumbull, Mahoning, Columbiana County, everybody. I've had thousands and thousands of texts and emails. I want to thank everybody for supporting it, and I'm happy that I was able to bring home a Kentucky Derby win.
All right, Bruce Zulin, the co-owner of Animal Kingdom. That's a story from the Pimlico Raceway.
Dana Balish is in Maryland and tells us that's part of the plan to keep things normal for Animal Kingdom.
It's a full field for the Preakness with 14 horses. Animal Kingdom, the favorite, won't arrive here at the Stakes Barn until Saturday morning.
That's Graham Motion's plan. He's very, very particular in the mood of the horse, and he wants the horse to feel like it's at home to the last minute, and it's at home in Fairhill. And it's only an hour drive, so he's happy.
Just how good is Animal Kingdom? Well, 2 of the best in the business say his big test comes Saturday afternoon.
I think we're going to find out this week. If he can come back in 2 weeks, then he was definitely the best horse. You don't know. He liked that track that day sometimes, but he's going to be tough to beat.
We're all beatable, let's face that. But, he's impressive. He was impressive, obviously, running on what they call synthetic grass and then dirt, so you got to give him his due. Obviously, he looks like a very, very good horse.
The last horse to win a Triple Crown was Affirm back in 1978. Animal Kingdom will try to take a step closer to that Saturday afternoon. At the Preakness in Baltimore, Maryland, Dana Balish, 21 Sports.
As we first reported at noon today, the Kelly Pavlik fight Saturday night at the Covelli Center is off. Sports Director Dana Balish broke the story this afternoon, and he's here to tell us exactly what happened.
Well, Glenn, Pavlik told me the decision to cancel the fight was strictly a business decision. He tells me he wasn't going to fight for what he calls peanuts, and said the fight in November against Lushan Butte is also off. Now, Pavlik had been preparing for this fight for several weeks and was hopeful of fighting for a world title in November. He decided to pull the plug because the purse of $1.35 million for the Butte bout was not sufficient.
I think that just goes to show the lack of communication with his manager, Cameron Duncan. I think, if he would have talked to him a week or two ago and found out what he was getting for Butte, he could have made up his mind then. Unfortunately, I think they talked Friday, and I think it brewed on Kelly over the weekend.
Now, Pavlik was going to make $50,000 for the fight against Daryl Cunningham Saturday night at the Covelli Center.
Now, Dana, could this be the last we see of Pavlik in your estimation?
Glenn, my gut feeling tells me it could be. Top Rank paved the way for Pavlik to come back in the way he wanted to come back, and apparently he derailed that. So I think, again, my gut feeling is that we've seen the last of Kelly Pavlik. Coming up in sports, Jack Lowe will give us his thoughts on that very question. Glenn?
Also coming up next on 21 News.
Hi, everyone. As we first reported earlier today, Kelly Pavlik's fight Saturday night against Daryl Cunningham is off. Pavlik withdrew from the bout, citing it was a business decision. Now, I talked to him over the phone, and he told me it's off and the Butte fight is not going to happen. I'm not going to fight a southpaw for peanuts. According to trainer Jack Lowe, Pavlik was not happy with the $1.3 million he was getting for fighting Butte. As far as Kelly's future in boxing, Lowe isn't sure.
Up to Kelly, only Kelly can tell you that, when or if he's going to fight again. Obviously he's not fighting this fight. He's not fighting the Butte fight, he says, so I have no idea.
Do you think he'll fight again?
Only Kelly can answer that.
Now, Top Rank President Todd DeBuff issued this statement. Top Rank is very disappointed at Kelly's decision to discontinue the rebuilding of his boxing career. Kelly's team gave us their objectives, and we set them on a course which began last May and was to continue on Saturday against Daryl Cunningham. It seems Kelly has derailed this plan.
They brought the middleweight championship of the world to the Valley and were on top of the boxing world.
Now, after a couple of tenuous years, they're going in different directions.
Sports director Dana Balish joins us with more on the breakup of Kelly Pavlik and Jack Lowe.
Earlier this week, I went to the Southside Boxing Gym to talk to Jack Lowe about a young and upcoming boxer. As I have done for many years, I asked Lowe about the status of Kelly Pavlik. And for the first time in this exclusive interview, the gloves came off.
A brand new middleweight champion. He's from Youngstown, Ohio.
Is he welcome in this gym?
No, he's not. It's over with. I wish him the best.
And with that, the 20-year relationship between trainer and fighter over.
I have nothing to say to Kelly. He had months since he came back from New York. He could have called me, picked up the phone, explained to me. If he's going to California, God bless him and good luck to him.
Lowe is adamant, saying he did everything he could for Pavlik inside the gym.
I think all of Youngstown knows the problem doesn't lie within the gym. It lies once he leaves the gym. And like I said, I don't have to be quiet no more, and I'm tired of taking the blame for something that I have no control over. This kid when he leaves his gym, and what he does outside of his gym, I have no control over. His drinking, the problems he has, that's not me.
So you still feel there's a, for lack of a better term, an alcohol problem?
Absolutely.
Lowe feels the former middleweight champion needs to leave the Mahoning Valley, but for the right reason.
Does he need to get out of Youngstown? Absolutely, because he can't control himself around here. But they have alcohol in California. They have cigarettes in California. They have everything in California that they have here. So I don't think the problem is running away from it. I think it is fixing it. And it just seems like nobody in that family wants to fix the problem. They just want to avoid it and move on. And, I think they're in for a big letdown.
The relationship between Lowe and Mike Pavlik has been strenuous at best over the past couple of years.
That's the biggest relief in boxing. That's the biggest, this was supposed to be the best 12 years or 10 years, 11 years of my life. It's been the most miserable time in my life dealing with them people.
If you could sit down with him, what would you tell him?
Listen, I would try to do something that his father hasn't done, and at least be a father to him and tell the kid to straighten up his personal life and forget about boxing right now. He needs some help. He needs to straighten up his life, and I don't think it has anything to do with Jack Lowe or any of his friends. It's Kelly Pavlik, and I think that's an in-house thing, and I think his family should have took care of that a long time ago.
Kelly Pavlik made himself available for comment. He admits there was some differences. Tank DeCiccio, a cornerman, according to Pavlik, was let go by Lowe because of some differences. Pavlik says he did a lot for his former trainer.
I think it's ridiculous that his comments that he made after a long career that I've had with him and everything I've done for the man, the gym, the house, everything else that I've done, and the fighters that I've brought to him because of my name. And I just think that was ignorant. I tried reaching out to him. I sent him a text and told him, I even called him, and he never replied back. And I just think that I'd never seen a trainer do that to their fighter, especially after 20 years of close to me and I'm supposed to be. And the same as about my dad. He hasn't been like a second dad to me. I had the best dad in the world. Jack hasn't done anything besides lie behind my back.
Do you feel that you have an alcohol problem today or no?
No, I don't. I mean, that hasn't been a problem, but that's the only thing that anybody could ever hold on me. That's the only thing anybody's got. out of envy, mad, or what. That's the only thing, an excuse that anybody could ever have.
I did talk to his father, Mike, who didn't want to comment on camera, but he did tell me I do not want to address the story. To watch the complete interview with Jack Lowe and the conversation with Kelly Pavlik, log on to our website,
It's time for Window World's Countdown to Kickoff.
Hi, everyone. Tonight we come to you from Spartan Stadium in Boardman, where the Spartans host Cardinal Mooney. The Cardinals have won the last several matchups, and the Spartans hope to give Coach Mark DeRamo his first win. This is no doubt one of the top games all season, and both coaches know it.
I think anytime that, they know the people lined up against them, some of them have played youth ball with them somewhere along the line of either baseball or basketball or football, or, have some type of relationship with them, a lot of buddies on the other side. So I think that it's definitely different. I think it creates, a lot of coffee shop talk.
That is one nice thing about playing local teams. In the Federal League, they don't know us, we don't know them. We go to the mall, you go to the Boardman Plaza, you see Mooney kids, and it's bragging rights, and our kids, they look forward to this game every year.
Now, other games around the area tonight: Campbell and South Range down in North Lima. Poland travels to Austintown Fitch, Struthers and Girard, and again over in western Pennsylvania, Farrell and Sharon, the big rivalry over in Mercer County. Don't forget the Taco Bell Overtime Report tonight. Highlights of 20 area games starting at 11:10. We welcome Vindicator Sports Editor Rob Toder with us. And Rob, the Boardman after tonight travel to Akron-Hoban next week. Where do you see the Spartans at the end of September?
Well, they've got to get that defense figured out. They can't give up 30 points a game and hope to be successful. So tonight's going to be a tough matchup for them. Hoban's going to be a tough matchup, and then the Federal League is always tough. But I think they've got enough of a balance offensively. They can score points. I think 3-3 is realistic.
With Austintown Fitch playing an independent schedule next week, will they play Mooney, Ursuline, or both next year, you think?
I think Mooney is a given. It's not been announced yet, but I'm hearing that there's a 5-year deal in the works between Fitch and Mooney. Ursuline would be an awesome matchup as well. But, what we like to see and what the fans would like to see and what the coaches and the athletic directors want to do are sometimes two different things.
All right, Rob, thanks for your time. One last note, the Colts hire Jim Tressel as a game day consultant. We'll be back to hear from the Boardman Band, but right now, back to you, Leslie and Bob. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Penguin Game Day, driven by Sweeney Chevrolet Buick GMC in Boardman. We come to you from the Watts. Dana Balish along with the head coach of the Penguins, Eric Wolford. Penguins coming off a big win over Western Illinois, Coach, and it was a win that you needed and a win that you got.
Well, it was good to see us play 4 quarters of football in all 3 phases and got some turnovers and made things happen.
Is that the first time, really, you said it yesterday, that you've played 4 quarters, you think, all season?
Yeah, it's been a while, Probably Valparaiso might have been the last time, and we've played here and there, played 3 quarters sometimes, played a half here and there. But it was good for us to put it all together.
Coach, as we take a look back at some of the highlights from this game, I know coaches always look to get better, but in the first half, you had the ball 4 or 5 times, you got 4 touchdowns. Can you get any better than that?
Get 5. We'd like to get 5, but no, our kids came out ready to play. It's a compliment to our coaches. We have a great coaching staff here, and we're coming together.
First play you score on the long touchdown pass to Christian Brine. Did you really set the tone after one play, you thought?
Well, we knew in play action pass the safety was going to jump down, and a lot of people are jumping their safeties in the box, stop the run game, and let's try to pitch it over their head.
Coach, I know you said yesterday you don't look at the standings, but you kind of feel where you are and so on and so forth.
I really don't know. Where are we? Can you tell me?
I can tell you.
We're in the middle of the pack, but that doesn't mean anything as far as where it's going to be at the end of the year.
You're in the middle of the pack. You have 2 conference losses.
Okay, so we're in the middle of the pack with a bunch of other people.
You have Illinois State and Indiana State with 2 losses. North Dakota State's hasn't lost a conference game, and Northern Iowa has lost 1 conference game. So you're 2 games behind. You're 2 games behind the top team with 3 to play.
Well, that's good. We just got to win 1 this week.
Let's talk about this week. You go to Northern Iowa, you play in the Dome, and just tell me a little bit about this Northern Iowa football team, because they're a pretty good football team.
They're a good football team, and obviously Coach Farley's done a good job there, and he's got a foundation in place, and all they do is reload. They got 9 players in the NFL.
6-2, 5-1. They're 3-0 at the Dome. As we take a look a little closer at Northern Iowa, they're averaging 27 points a game. The opponents are only scoring 15. And of course, the big topic all this week has been their quarterback Terrell Rennie, who's averaging 181 yards per game. He got banged up against North Dakota State. I mean, we talked about it before we came on. You think he'll play Saturday?
No question, he'll play. I mean, it's a big game for them, just like it is for us. And, your best players play.
Coach, Mark Farley was asked today by one of the reporters on the conference call, do you think Terrell Rennie is Terrell Rennie practicing? Farley's comment is he's with us. So, I mean, they're kind of holding him, I would think.
I don't read anything into those comments. I know better than that.
Let's talk about this team. I mean, just how good of a team are they?
Northern Iowa?
Yeah.
Good football team. I mean, they've only given up 14 touchdowns on the year. The most amount of points they've given up in a football game over there has been 10. The red zone defense is very stout, and Rennie's responsible for 250 yards of their offensive game. He can run it. He's throwing the ball better than he ever has. He has a great supporting cast. His offensive line's 300 plus across the board. Got the best interior defensive lineman in the league, and got a linebacker that makes every tackle.
What about Boothie? How good is he?
He's the best interior defensive lineman in the league. He's up for every award, deservedly so. He wrecks havoc.
Coach, this team has proven that they play well at home. You're playing indoors. You practiced inside today, and that kind of helped you, didn't it?
Well, we had some noise in here. Got the fans on here tonight. But, no, we've been practicing indoors. Get used to the flat surface. Obviously, our field has a crown. But, it's our first time up there as a new coaching staff. And we've got a couple players that have been up there before, but the majority of our team's new. So it'll be the first trip up there. And, let's go up there and roll the ball out there and see what happens.
Now, Coach, I know there's only one game in your mind. It's against Northern Iowa, but we're going to check around the rest of the Missouri Valley Conference. Western Illinois travels to Illinois State. North Dakota State is at Indiana State, and Southern Illinois travels to South Dakota State. And we'll be back with more of Penguin Game Day right after this.
21 Sports, this is the Taco Bell Overtime Report, brought to you by Taco Bell.
Hi, everyone. Since they started playing again, Cardinal Mooney has won both games against Boardman. The Spartans and new coach Mark DeRamo making their home debut against those pesky Cards. Take you out on a very hot and humid night in a big crowd at Spartan Stadium. Third quarter, tied at 13. Orion Polifrone's going to hit Irving here on the nice pitch and catch, picks up 15 yards inside the 25. Devin Campbell then the 3-yard touchdown run gets in on the left side. Boardman up 20-13. Mooney trying to come back. Roosevelt Griffith boy utilizes his blocking, gets some daylight after a 10-yard run. He is inside the 25. Then 4th and 1. P.J. Quinn, goes right over his center for the touchdown, ties the game at 20. And then it is Justin Ellis Moore, the good run there for Mooney. That sets up Griffith here for the 3-yard touchdown run. Cardinal Mooney in front, 27-20. But Boardman comes back again. They got Dane Hammond, and plenty of things can happen. Polifrone on the pass to Hammond. Nice catch there in the middle of the field inside the 30-yard line. And then that combination hooks up again. Polifrone again, this time to Hammond, and it's caught inside the 10-yard line. Then on 4th down, Boardman with the chance to tie it. The pass falls incomplete. Cardinal Mooney goes to Spartan Stadium tonight. They get the win, 27-20. Struthers and Girard both open the year with wins, and now one of these red and black teams looking to make it 2 straight. Mike Atkinson tells us if the Indians held serve at home.
It's always a pretty good matchup when these two hook up, so let's head right to the highlights of this one between the Indians and the Wildcats. And Indian Stadium was packed. They were rocking. 2nd and 9 on the Struthers 10. Dan Graziano. It's a touchdown. How about the Indians at the break? They were up 21-7. Then 3rd and 7 on their own 38. Tommy Kimbrough. He's going to knock that one in, and it makes it 21-14. 2nd and 18 on their own 38. Graziano to Brandon Bird, and it's a first down. Ahead of myself there. There's Kimbrough finishing that 62-yard scamper. Now we'll go back to the play where Graziano finds Bird. It's going to move the sticks. They got the first down. And from there, same drive, 3rd and 1 at the 15. Bird, he's going to move the chains. And then on 4th and 8, Miggs going to boot the field goal. Girard comes away with the win in this one, the final, 45-14.
Southern trying to make it 2 straight. The Indians made a stop in Lisbon against a determined Blue Devil club. Rob Decker tells us that Jim Salimas was able to get his first win.
Thank you, Dana. And Lisbon looking for their first win in almost a year. Southern local trying to prove that 8-3 season last year going to the playoffs is no fluke. Let's take you out to the home of the Blue Devils to find out. Second quarter, 7-7 Indians on their own 43. Luke Griffith finds J.J. Napierkowski. 7-yard pass, and it's first down Southern local. 7 plays later, Jared Shiloh connects on the 30-yard field goal. 10-7 Indians with the lead. Ensuing Lisbon possession from the 17, Eric Walker finds Drew Sweeney, makes the catch, hits the sideline, and he beats everybody to the end zone. 83 yards on the pass. The PAT is no good.